The Center for Enriching Relationships addresses a universal problem. People are broken. They need to heal. CER helps them through professional Christian therapy. Dr. Don Welsh started CER in 2002 with a passion to serve the underserved, born out of his work as a pastor and professor in the San Diego and Kansas inner cities. Don personally witnessed a deep need to provide Christian counseling to those who couldn't afford it and the lack of people trained to do this. So 13 years ago in Kansas, Don began Enriching Relationships, which became the Center for Enriching Relationships when he came to San Diego in 2008. As a professor of theological students at Mid-America Nazarene University, Don saw that many of his future pastors were poorly equipped to deal with the messy relational issues of people in their churches that he served. As a pastor of theological students at Mid-America Nazarene University, Don saw that many of his future pastors were poorly equipped to deal with the messy relational issues of people in the churches where they served. Further, Don's heart was for the hurting poor, who were often less able to afford help. Here, co-founders Don and wife Robin share their vision.
The Center for Enriching Relationships has become a vision, a mission, and a passion. We really place professional therapists, psychotherapists within the local church to help the pastor be able to do his or her calling to teach, preach, and disciple.
Oftentimes it starts with a phone call in our center, the Center for Enriching Relationships, and I listen very carefully and we find out where they are, what the situation is, and if they qualify, what scale. We have a reduced fee.
We oftentimes say when you hurt, we help you heal. And so many of our pastors are overwhelmed with relationship issues, and the specialist comes alongside of the pastor and really deals with oftentimes some of the most difficult, or more of some of the most difficult issues that they face. I think we in the Christian world would all suggest that our nation needs revival. And God has always used the local body of believers, the church, as the avenue through which He provides His healing.
So this is what CER does. It really does come alongside the pastor and helps support, and it's a win-win for everybody.
To seed the CER vision, massive amounts of time have been invested over the last 13 years as they have infused it with $100,000 of their own personal money. The impact of the Center for Enriching Relationships. CER has made significant impact. The center currently has placed 7 therapists in local churches, oversees 2 practicum students, and 3 licensed marriage and family therapists. These therapists saw approximately 1,300 clients last year. As you will see, lives and families were healed and saved. Moreover, the Center for Enriching Relationships has impacted other organizations that it has served: the East County Transitional Living Center, the Adoption Center of San Diego, and all their participating churches. Pastors are busy and wear many hats, and professional counseling is unavailable in many of their churches. CER places professionally trained staff to help. This has proven to be the perfect, powerful blend of theology and psychology for Christian clients. CER brings healing to those who can least afford it. The Center for Enriching Relationships is developing the next generation of well-trained Christian therapists. Increasingly, people in our culture and churches suffer relational and family difficulties. And yet, in the seminary, it is common for pastors to only have one class in pastoral counseling. Pastors often struggle to wisely manage their own relationships with congregation and staff, let alone counsel every hurting member in their church. Here's Kathy Getke, a selfless therapist who has worked as an intern with CER and Family Counseling Services, which is the for-profit side of Don Welsh's ministry. Kathy began with CER in 2012 and currently works out of the Rancho Bernardo and Mission Valley offices. She has highly developed social skills and is a passionate team player.
I loved the idea that a nonprofit organization would give me an opportunity to work with individuals that might not otherwise be able to get therapy. Sometimes an individual or couple need guidance in understanding how to apply biblically consistent approaches to make sense of their problems and understand how they can work through them. I love when I get to see that light bulb go on in a session and a client has insight into their problem and they understand that they hold the key to the solution. I'm just there to guide them along. They're the ones doing the work. I think the most rewarding part of being a therapist with CER is when a client is able to express that they've felt heard. They feel like someone understands, and they feel unconditional love without judgment. So many times they'll say with tears in their eyes, I've never told anybody that before. I was too ashamed. It's when we can provide them with a safe environment, and that's when the healing truly begins.
This is the kind of person the Center for Enriching Relationships employs, inspiring people willing to sacrifice time and money to heal hearts. Kathy is among our many committed Christian therapists. Each has at least a master's degree in counseling and has been professionally educated as a marriage and family therapist. Those who are interns are under the supervision of Dr. Don Welsh while completing the 3,000 required hours for licensing. These interns choose CER because it is their ideal organization to blend their deep Christian commitment with their professional training as therapists. CER is also attractive to therapists because it co-pays for clients. It is beneficial to them in a number of ways. It provides more clients and ensures an adequate professional income for the therapist. CER's vision is to train therapists and to keep them. The Center for Enriching Relationships provides a clear path for the CER intern to become a licensed therapist and to continue a long-term career. Now we come to a very crucial issue. What does it cost to change a life? While no one can put a price on a healed heart, we can tell you that what it takes from an organizational standpoint is this. CER estimates that it takes about 20 sessions to significantly change the life of a hurting person. At an average cost of $65 a session, this means that CER can make a huge difference in a life for $1,300. What a small cost for a healed life. At CER, we believe that the client must assume some of the cost for counseling. Their commitment to their own healing is essential to the process. But we also know that copay must be made available for many people to afford therapy. Currently, CER asks each client of an intern to pay $30 per session, and CER pays $35. CER is a 501c3 transitioning from being supported by a for-profit counseling service, Family Counseling Services, owned by Don and Robin Welsh, to a standalone nonprofit organization. As a result of a brief fundraising drive at the end of 2014, donations to CER are being used for counseling co-pays. If you decide to donate funds, these will provide counseling for those in need, resources to pay developing interns, and make it possible for CER to transition from a founder-funded organization to a standalone nonprofit, donor-funded ministry functioning within the local churches. We are seeking partners to carry this vision into the future. CER is doing well in our local churches, and as funds come in, we continue decentralizing our office to operate largely out of the local church and spaces they provide. Here, Don Welch introduces one of CER's pastors, Randy Hasper, from First Baptist Church in Chula Vista, as he discusses the effectiveness of having a therapist in his church.
We see it as a great privilege to come alongside of his pastors and be part of the kingdom building and helping people to break down some of the emotional barriers that may keep them from actually receiving God's grace and forgiveness, full forgiveness.
I'm a pastor at a church here in the San Diego area, and we have a CER intern at our church site in one of our offices, and I love it. Couldn't be better. She adds so much to our church staff. And it's because when people come to church Sunday morning, they bring their past with them. What was in their past comes to church as what is, and it keeps them from knowing God, from trusting Him, from trusting other people, from having good relationships. And the healing from that needs to happen in a place where they feel safe. And it's in the therapy office where people have that one-on-one sacred space moment with another Christian that they can really unpack their stuff. You know, the teen comes and she's saying, I have doubts, and her family's full of faith, and she's afraid to share that at home, doubts about her faith. And you have the couple come and they're fighting and they're just killing each other with criticism. And in the counseling office, they can hear each other maybe for the first time and what the other one's really feeling. Or you have like an older woman coming and she's lost her mom and she's grieving and she needs that place to say she feels suicidal and to unpack those feelings and receive some healing. And we see in those sacred moments in our therapy office Jesus doing his work where the truth sets people free, and they're literally unslaved from their past and from what they've been feeling by being able to get it out and get feedback and being asked questions to help heal them.
Pastors are an essential part of the solution for hurting people. They are the ones to invite the therapists to be part of their church staff, and they are often the ones who refer the clients to the therapists. These are San Diego County churches with a vision to heal hearts. And here's the dream to expand. We will co-pay $35 per session for clients' therapy. We will discover a CER leader to promote expansion. We will recruit more therapists and churches. We will expand our reach through social media and websites. We will continue to fundraise. This is CER's dream. And now, a few more comments from the ones that say it best.
I felt God calling us to intervention, to somehow provide some assistance to our pastors. And many of our pastors are overloaded with relationship challenges in particular. And so our center, we actually place professional psychotherapists into the local church to help the pastor to be able to accomplish what he or she has been called to do, to preach, teach, and discipleship.
So couldn't believe in this more. In fact, we believe in it so much at our church, we raise funds to co-pay for people to see our therapist, and we get nothing but rave reviews from people of how it's changed their lives and how much it's helped. And as a pastor, wow, for me, it feels like one of the most loving ministries we can ever offer people, and that we're doing real church when we're in those one-on-one healing moments.
Therapy is expensive, and daily we get calls from individuals who are looking for help, but for one reason or another, they're not able to pay the going rate. CER is there to help.
Center for Enriching Relationships. You hurt, we help, you heal. Will you help us?